Hi Stargazers, Arik here, and I'm here to talk about the lunar eclipse that we're going to be having on July 5th. It's actually opening, the lunar eclipse window opens on July 4th, which is Independence Day in the United States, and then it's open for 48 hours. And we're going to have the eclipse, and it's the last eclipse of this eclipse season that we've been going through. A lot of shadow work, a lot of things are being brought up, and we're in the middle of Cancer season, and it's going to be the full moon in Capricorn, which is all about, you know, the archetype of the devil, which is about darkness and liberation and freedom, and where we're just buying the illusion of things. So it's you know, whenever we're having an eclipse, it's interesting because you have to think about the sun is moving, is shining the light on the earth, and then the moon moves behind the earth into that shadow that's casted by the earth from the sun shining its light on it. So that for us, it opens up portals of the shadow work if we're looking at the dark side of things. And we had the strawberry eclipse last month, and now we're having the thunder eclipse in July. So yeah, this is really a lot to talk about. There's a lot going on. I'll put a link in the description to the article if you want to read about it. But really, when you think about thunder, you know, you think about that sound, you know, like when lightning hits and then you count until you hear it, right? So we see it first, and then the sound has to travel, and then we can tell how far away it was. I love thunder. I love the sound of it. I love the lightning. I think it's just like really kind of cool. It's like showing you what's up. And with this thunder moon, we need to listen to, you know, the guidance. We need to not just see what's going on, because what we see is only a small part of what's being shown to us. But the thunder is like the guidance that we need to listen to. So it's the thunder about illusions. It's the thunder about illusions. It's the thunder about half-truths. This whole full moon lunar eclipse is about the half-truths that we live by. And definitely check out our Ageless podcast for more information about that. But it's really, I'll put a link in the description below. But it's a powerful astrological event that we're going through, because Cancer is really already a difficult time because it's that water energy. It's so much water, and then we're in that heat, and then all the emotions are coming up, like that emotional roller coaster, and then the full moon is going to just really elucidate and show us where are we stuck, right? Where are we, you know, buying into illusions? Where are we staying in that? Now it's really interesting because we had that strawberry eclipse during the season of Gemini, and then we're having this thunder eclipse during the season of Cancer. Now in the tarot, Gemini is ruled by the Lovers, and in between the Lovers is some clouds, and it's like lightning is most of the time being made in the clouds. And then the thunder is coming we hear it afterwards, right? So it's almost like the relationship things that we dealt with during Gemini, we're going to hear it in the thunder with this full moon, with this full thunder moon. So really think about that. You can get some major advancements with your relationships, for example, your relationships to others, your relationships to the universe, and really download some really powerful information to change your life, to recontextualize things just a little bit. I will be offering a virtual ritual that has a teaching, a workshop, and a guided meditation. I'll put a link also in the description. You can sign up for that to help you really eliminate obstacles with this thunder moon, which is going to be really powerful and beneficial, because again, it's that lunar eclipse where we're really working with the shadow side of things. And there's really no big aspects happening with this full moon. Like to the full moon, of course, like everything is in retrograde, so we're really looking within more than ever. And then we're having that eclipse, which is a lot of shadow work on top of it. But it's really just focusing again on this eclipse, on this moon. So really, you guys, think about where are the half-truths that you're buying into. And of course, this is going to affect the United States because they're having their solar return in the United States and the Pluto return. So it's a lot of looking at these half-truths with what's going on in the nation. And, you know, being born in the USA myself, I can really feel it. I can really feel the big transformation, and I really want it to be a good one, and I'm very certain that it will be. And we definitely want to do that spiritual war, to have that consciousness. You know, we want to be spiritual warriors to make a difference, because it really wouldn't be good if, you know, it was making a wrong turn, but I'm certain that it's going to make a good turn, absolutely. You know, be sure to use the Astrology Capricorn essential oil, you know, throughout this eclipse. It's really good for helping to, you know, transcend all kinds of, you know, what does it do? It activates humor, openness, and devotion, and deactivates stinginess, calculation, and sarcasm. These are things that can really help us to let go of all these aspects of degraded Capricorn and help us work on the positive aspects of Capricorn as well. So yeah, I'm really excited about this lunar eclipse, so that we can really push forward, really listen to our guidance, understanding our spiritual guidance, and really knowing, is it the ego that's talking or is it my spiritual guidance? And really, if you have this question at all, then chances are it's the ego, because most of the time we kind of just dismiss the spiritual guidance because we think that the ego knows better, or even the ego might come disguised as spiritual guidance. This can happen too. So a really good way that we can turn up the volume of spiritual guidance is by doing good actions, not being so selfish, not having doubt, not having confusion, because again, the confusion that started in Gemini is going to really be confronted in this full moon lunar eclipse in Capricorn during the Cancer season, because remember, the lightning strikes and then we hear it, the thunder travels, so that we're going to really hear the thunder. So it's about the sound, about the voice. You have the inspiration, now give voice to it. And that's what really this is about. And this is I mean, again, a really powerful time for each and every one of us, depending on where it's hitting in your chart. Please, you know, book me for a reading. I can tell you what this specifically means for you, because this is, again, the last eclipse until later on this year. And I mean, it could bring some issues. Of course, it could bring some issues if you don't want to look at the shadow side, if you have a hard time looking at the shadow side. Of course, you know, might bring up some resistance, but just open up, let it happen, because again, that thunder full moon really wants you to expose those half-truths and really, you know, let go of them, let go of these illusions, you know, and this could change a lot of relationships, and it can also make positive relationships stronger. So if you have any questions about this, you know, please leave them in the comments, let me know. Oh, and one more thing that I also want to say, of course, is that this has a lot to do in relationships, has a lot to do with narcissism and narcissists. So yeah, this is like a narcissist. I mean, you can really spot a narcissist from a mile away, because, you know, not to like put them all on blast, because we all have narcissistic qualities within us, because narcissism is really the core of the ego. But it's like narcissism will, in a way, again, going back to the lovers, what can happen is that we can project qualities of ourselves onto other people, and then what will happen is that we might be attracted to what we're projecting and not really seeing the other person for who they are, again, like in the lovers. But then really just, it's like this narcissism, like I'm in love, or I'm attracted, or I like some part of myself that I'm projecting onto the other person. Never really seeing through and seeing that this person is not that way and that they're something completely different. And as long as this person, the other person, doesn't break that illusion, or doesn't give me cause to break that illusion, then everything's fine. So narcissists can also, like, you know, put a lot of light onto the other person and make them feel like the center of the world, which means that you're probably susceptible to narcissistic traits and narcissists as well. So really, like, as we are eliminating narcissism within us, we will eliminate the narcissist in our lives, because it can be very abusive relationships, actually. I work with a lot of people. I'm a, you know, recovered narcissist myself. I know all about it, and it's very tricky, and it's at the core of the ego. So a lot of these things will be brought up for us to look at, and just really stop being in love with yourself and start loving others. That's what really this is about. If you have any comments about that, if you need help with that, leave them in the comments below. Like this video if you like it. Please subscribe to my channel. And also, I want to mention that I will be starting an online tarot journey, which, you know, if you're interested, please let me know. I will start signups very soon. It's going to be a very powerful journey of self-transformation, learning about the tarot of the Cosmic Pixels deck, which is the deck that Aurelia and I created, you know, just kind of updating the energy and making it more relevant to today, and correcting inconsistencies that we both have noticed throughout the many years of our tarot transformation. So that's very exciting news. I want to announce it with this full moon. And thank you so much for being the one who makes a difference by using Astrology, and I look forward to hearing from you soon. Thank you. My name is Arik. Bye-bye.